Hey, be honest with me for a second. How often do you catch yourself thinking things like, I just want to be happy. Once things settle down, I'll finally be okay. Just a little longer and then I can breathe. Sound familiar? I think most of us have been there, but here's something I want you to sit with today. The moment you say, I want to be happy, you've already defined right now as a place where happiness doesn't exist. That sentence carries a hidden assumption that right now is not enough, that this moment is just a waiting room, something to push through. When I get the job, I'll be happy. When I make more money, things will be better. When life finally feels stable, then I can relax. But think about it. That moment never fully arrives because the second it does, we're already building the next goal, and happiness keeps moving forward, always just out of reach. Chapter 1: Why this pattern never stops. Here's the thing. This isn't about willpower. It's not because you're not trying hard enough. This is actually about how the human mind is wired. Psychologists Brickman and Campbell once compared lottery winners to people who had become paraplegic, and what they found was kind of shocking. Over time, both groups returned to roughly the same baseline level of happiness. This is what researchers call hedonic adaptation. In other words, the brain is designed to reset. No matter how big the win, the emotional high doesn't last, and so we chase the next thing, and the next, and happiness stays permanently one step ahead. But there's another layer to this. The act of setting a goal actually frames the present moment as not there yet. And when everything feels like a means to an end, you start missing what's right in front of you. The wind on your face, the sounds around you, the actual physical experience of being alive right now. Chapter 2: Training yourself to find happiness in the process. So where does happiness actually live? Let me paint two pictures of someone hiking a mountain. Person A is there to conquer the summit, eyes fixed on the top. Every step feels like an obstacle. The aching legs, the heavy breathing, it's all just stuff to get through. They reach the top, snap a photo, and immediately start thinking about the next climb. Person B is there to experience the mountain. They feel the breeze on their skin. They notice how the light filters through the trees. Their legs are tired, but that tiredness feels like aliveness. They stop to take in the view that keeps getting bigger with every step. Same mountain, completely different experience. Here's what really matters though. The summit is brief, the climb is long, and that's true of life too. The moment you hit a goal is short. The days you spend walking toward it, that's most of your life. So here's what I really want you to hear today. If you've built a goal around something you genuinely believe in, then every single day you spend moving toward it should count as part of the good stuff, not just when you arrive. You have to tell yourself that. The walk itself is the life. This isn't toxic positivity. I'm not asking you to pretend everything is fine. I'm saying learning to experience the process as meaningful, that's not just a mindset trick. That's actually the whole point of being here. Think about it this way. Life ends in death. That's just true. But none of us wake up every morning with death as our goal. We live today. Today is the point. And if today is the point, then today, including the hard parts, the unfinished parts, the messy in between, that's your life. Hitting small goals along the way, that's part of the journey, but the journey itself is what you're actually living. Psychologist James Gross showed in his research that how you label an experience changes how you feel about it, not the experience itself. Think about working out. Your muscles burn, you're sweating, you're exhausted, but you don't call that misery, you call it training. Same discomfort, different label, completely different emotional experience. Struggling doesn't mean you're unhappy. It means you're moving. It means you're growing. We've just been mislabeling the feeling of effort as the feeling of suffering. Chapter 3. A different question to ask yourself tonight. So, what do we actually do with all of this? Instead of asking, when will I finally be happy, try asking this: what is one thing today that makes me feel even a little lighter? Because happiness might not be this massive, dramatic feeling we've been waiting for. It might be the coffee you had this morning, the sense that you're moving in the right direction, the feeling of tired legs after a day of doing something that actually matters to you. Happiness isn't the reward for arriving, it's the feeling of being aligned right now with who you're trying to become. You don't mourn the sweat on a hike, so stop defining the days you spend walking towards your goals as not yet. Today is your life. When you postpone today, you postpone everything. So tonight, try saying this out loud. I'm not going to say, I want to be happy someday. I'm going to figure out what makes me feel alive today. I'm in the middle of the journey, and this journey, this is my life. Happiness isn't waiting at the top. It's already in your steps.